Hello and welcome to Game On, the show that is so hard it's only taken one sick day in a year.
I wouldn't say that's anything to do with being hard, just a very effective immune system.
Fair point. In that case, welcome to Game On, the show with some damn good white blood cells.
Coming up this week.
I said get down on the ground!
Battlefield launch woes, it's so good it's bad.
We chat to Saints Row developers.
And encounter an aggressive cat.
BioWare Supremo Aaron Flynn gives us the latest on Mass Effect 3.
And the Game On mailbag strikes again. First up today, Battlefield 3.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that one. It's finally been released after months and months of hype, but it's hit a few snags along the way.
Snags that are nothing to do with Modern Warfare 3.
All call signs Mystic, we on mission launch. Repeat, we on mission launch.
Gamers around the world have been complaining of slow servers and even outages when trying to play online.
But it's not because of any dodgy technology on EA's part, at least not according to CEO John Riccitiello.
Riccitiello. That'll do. He said, in terms of network services, we've had unprecedented peaks.
Which is basically a modest way of saying so many people have bought the game that they're struggling to cope with them all.
Popular.
I said get down on the ground!
Unfortunately, that isn't all the bad news for Battlefield.
With the game launching in Europe last night, there are problems with Origin activation, something you need before being able to play the game online.
Origin is currently unavailable, with the Battlefield 3 Twitter saying, Origin activation is down at the moment. We are aware of the issue and working on it. Thank you for your patience.
They later tweeted, we are currently trying to resolve the matter and we will update the community ASAP.
With any luck, by the time you're watching this, they will all have been resolved.
Hopefully.
But whether it has or hasn't been fixed, have some patience. From what we've played of Battlefield 3 so far, it's a game worth waiting for.
And keep your eyes peeled for a review next week.
Next, we're talking jovial sandbox street crime adventure Saints Row the Third.
The game is out on November the 18th, and to give you a little bit of a sneaky preview, the developers from Volition came all the way from Champaign, Illinois to tell us what to expect.
They also brought a giant cat with them.
Ah yes, that would be Professor Genki.
Your new best friend.
Not my best friend.
My name is Greg Donovan. I'm the producer on Saints Row the Third.
My name is Scott Phillips. I'm the lead designer on Saints Row the Third.
I am Philippe Laurent, chairman of a multinational organization called the Syndicate.
Well, the Syndicate is made up of the three gangs. It's a multinational organization. So there's a branch that's in Steelport that's run by Philippe Laurent, who's the leader of the Morning Star. They're the head. They're kind of the brains that run all of the organization. And they have the luchadors, who are the Mexican wrestlers, you know, the big face masks and body armor. And then we have the Deckers, who are kind of 21st century criminals. Like they're, you know, wire fraud and sort of hacking and that sort of stuff. They launder the money for the Syndicate.
No, you know, this is actually a really a little-known fact. When Saints Row 1 came out in development, the original color for the Saints was green, and then San Andreas came out, and that gang was green, and it's like we could make that change. It's a demo that allows players to create their character before launch. Scott?
Mine is always, lately, has always been a completely naked woman with the sex appeal slider set to 100.
I've gone everything from a 70s disco / private eye to, I've also done the thong-clad, running around, partially naked woman.
Forth from the supreme mind of super genius mancat Professor Genki!
He's basically this known persona, actual entity in Steelport who runs this underground betting system called Professor Genki's Super Ethical Reality Climax.
Professor Genki's Super Ethical Reality Climax.
Like super ballistic manapult!
The Manapult's Professor Genki's custom car. It's a car that has this cannon on top of it, and you can run over pedestrians and suck them up, and then shoot them out of the cannon. You can shoot pedestrians across the city. It's an absolute blast.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff we put into the game is because we love things so much. Like, you know, we love Call of Duty and Battlefield and a lot of other games out there.
System-driven game, you're going to see something and experience something unique each time you play it. If we're talking about Critical Path, we're over 20 hours. 100% even takes our QA team, who know the game better than anyone else, I think 45 hours.
The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping.
We're our own game. We are Saints Row.
You can customize the gang, and my gang is all ninja, you know, Saints. In their sign, you can do taunts and compliments. It's a little small little fart, you know, so you can go up and compliment them and do that, and they'll do it back to you.
I think for me, it's recruiting a bunch of followers, a bunch of homies that'll follow you around and fight for you, and then calling in some other gang members from your team, or seeing Saints on the street, and then just walking over to another Saint and punching them a couple times. And then your homies will attack and kill that person because they turn against you and are going to attack you.
Saints Row III is built on entirely new engine, proprietary technology developed internally by Volition, and everything's been improved from the ground up. So players are not going to experience that again, and I think they're not going to see those types of issues that some saw on Saints Row 2. Well, you can customize your gangs to be pimps. We don't have like the pimp gang. I mean, you could have your gang of pimps fighting against the enemy pimps when you're involved in Snatch, one of the activities.
So there you have it. If you love gangs and the colour purple, you'll be in for a treat.
Not to mention the Manapult.
I've got to get me one of those.
Like super ballistic Manapult!
And of course, Professor Genki sounds like he'll be a pretty crazy character.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. He doesn't take losing well either.
What do you mean?
Well, we were playing a happy, friendly game of cards and then, well, watch this.
From the supreme mind of super genius mancat Professor Genki! Arrives hyper-ordinary pre-order pack featuring splendid devices for maximum pleasure in urban combat. Like super ballistic Manapult!
The cheeky bugger stole our milk too, you know.
Outrageous.
It is outrageous. I wanted some tea.